This is the Jasmine Jacket Mini. Care Bear here to share with you that I was on Instagram and I saw this call for test knitters for this beautiful Jasmine Jacket Mini by Nash Knits. The test call was for this project and the sample knit was done in Drops Charisma, which is one of my favorite yarns to work with. And I just loved this piece. I thought it would be great for a little one in my world. And so I applied to be a test knitter, was selected to uh, test knit the pattern for a size 18 month to 24 months. And I had the opportunity to work with some amazing knitters online for the month of February and a little bit into March. And during that time, I made this beautiful piece that I am going to be gifting to someone special in my world. So let me tell you about this lovely knit by Nashwa. She is the designer of Nashwa Knits, and for most of her knits, she makes a mini, a junior, and an adult. So if you love this, take a look at her other designs because they're absolutely beautiful. And what I love about Nashwa's designs is the detail that she puts into her creations. I don't know if she is also a sewer, but there's so many things in the design of her knits that I think are just make it simply stunning. So let me tell you about the materials that I used for this knit. It calls for DK weight yarn, and the sample, as I said, was done in Drops Charisma. Mine is done in Drops Charisma as well, and I used an old soft pink and black. And I can tell you the dye lot, I'm just looking at my notes here. It's 40, the light old pink is what I used, and then I used the black, which is a number 1. And the pattern calls for 3.25 millimeter needles, 3.5, 3.75 millimeter, and 4 millimeter needles, because there are a number of areas where you have to make the needle changes. Also, that's US 3, 4, 5, and 6 for those of you who are using the US uh, numbers. And I can tell you I bought 6 balls of the pink and 2 balls of the black. I used for the pink, and they're 50-gram balls. I used 5 and a little bit into the 6th ball. And for the black, I used the 150-gram ball and about 3 grams of the other ball for the black. So that gives you an idea of the amount of yarn. And that was for the 18 to 24 months. So when the pattern is available on Ravelry, you'll be able to see all the other knits by the other test knitters who did amazing, amazing colors. And you'll be able to see the necessary yarn needed for the different sizes. So let me tell you a little bit about the construction of this beautiful garment. Firstly, it is a top-down construction. There are some short rows that you have to do in the back of the knit, and then you're working back and forth with the front, the back, and then the other front piece. Once you get down to the body, because it's top-down construction, you are doing this beautiful uh, bottom cuff that is a double knit. And I'm just holding that there, which I just think is great for the structure of the jacket. Once you are finished the body, you move on to the button band area, and that also is a double knit for the button band. And I'm just undoing the buttons. as I talk about it. And what I absolutely love, I love the double knit, but I also love this tuck stitch that she has done up the edge of the button band, and I think it just looks absolutely lovely. I had never done that tuck stitch before. That was something new for me. And Nashwa has amazing detail in the text instruction as well as video instructions in her patterns. So if these are new techniques for you, don't hesitate, because her video instructions are very, very helpful. And yeah, so that, and it wasn't difficult, but it was something new I'd never done before. And again, that's one of her exquisite details in her patterns that I just love. So once you finish, oh, I want to mention something else about the button band. I have done a number of cardigans and buttonholes for sweaters. The instructions for these buttonholes was brilliant, and it just worked out so beautifully. And I don't think I've ever worked with a pattern that had this kind of instruction for buttonhole making, and it was amazing. The best I've ever um, worked with. So I was really, really happy for that. After you're done the button bands, then you're moving on to the sleeves. The sleeves you're picking up, and you'll notice you have that tuck stitch all around at the shoulder before you go into the sleeve. You're working in the round on the sleeves, and at the very base of the sleeve, there is this beautiful box pleat, which I had done before with one of her other patterns, the Cassandra pattern I had made, and she also had the box pleat in the sleeves of the Cassandra sweater. After you do the box pleat and you move into the cuff too is a double knit. And look at that lovely accent color at the bottom of those sleeves. So that is the next piece. And the final piece, because we had done the double knit on the band, button bands, cuff, and also the cuff of the sleeve, I thought, wow, that collar is going to be a lot of work as a double knit. But I was so surprised with her structure of how to do this collar. It was not difficult at all. It was so simple, the way she sets up the double thick collar and the shaping of the collar. It was so easy to knit, and I just think it looks super cute. So the collar was the last piece that I put on. Then I had to pick up some buttons, and I got these beautiful buttons. They're not leather, but they give that leather appeal or that leather look. I bought these buttons at our local sewing and notion supply store called Neverin's Trillium Buttons, and I just think they look great because they match so well with the sweater. And I think the sample knit that Nashwad had on Instagram also had a similar type of button, and so I chose to go with that. The shank of these buttons are metal, and yeah, I'm really happy with the buttons that I selected for the sweater. So that was the Jasmine test knit, the Jasmine Jacket Mini. She does have it in a junior size, and check out on Ravelry. She may even end up doing this for an adult because many of her patterns are for all three sizes. I'm just wondering if there was anything else in my notes that I wanted to share with you. Um, Another piece that Nashwa included in her pattern was a knitting calculator, and I had never seen that before. So that was also something new for me. But the knitting calculator helps you when you have a number of stitches in the round or on your needles and you have to evenly increase in stitches or decrease in stitches, and the calculator does it for you and tells you what you should knit in the round or on the straight needles to do that evenly. So that was a first for me. I put the link to the knitting calculator in the description below, so you might want to check that out. And yeah, that's it. The Jasmine jacket. Super happy with this knit. Will I do it again? Yeah, probably. I have a number of little ones in my world, and I think it would be um, really cute to make as a gift going forward. So that's the Jasmine jacket. Check out Nash Knits on Ravelry. Got some great cute patterns.